Hey everybody, Jake here, and I am about 25 hours deep into Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So many hours, but the end is not even in sight. So rather than give a full review, I will be telling you what I think so far, and I hope you'll stick around.
Whoa! All right! This rocks, man! Oh shit! No!
Top level, if you were a fan of the last Like a Dragon game starring Ichiban, I find Infinite Wealth to be an improvement in every way. The story and characters are more compelling, the combat tweaked to offer more variety and a level of moment-to-moment engagement that wasn't present in the first game, and the side content continues to be some of the best in the genre. I even found that the game supplies so much backstory and context that even though a newcomer won't have like decades of the franchise's legacy in mind, they are given more than enough to enjoy the game and its story that you should have no problem jumping in here if this is your first title. And actually, the first major topic I want to talk about is the story. The game is written extremely well. Every character in your party and every NPC you have a relationship with is distinct and memorable, and made more so by having unique tasks and circumstances assigned to each one of them. From like the failed comedian whose coffee shop you visit to the local love matchmaker, there's so much flavor and personality in this world that it never feels generic. It never feels like an open world that just is. And I gotta say, I'm most impressed with Ichiban's character. He's written so dynamically that he can fit in like any situation, but I particularly love how he treats historically oppressed groups that are often not given the same treatment or really any attention in media. Like, sure, Ichiban, for example, he extends kindness to like differently abled people, and after successfully asking out a woman, he dances with like some unhoused folks. But the game actually goes the extra mile and interrogates systemic problems. I was legitimately shocked at how much Western commentary infiltrates Infinite Wealth. It's no like political thesis, but there are like, I don't know, a couple shots at the police in this game that are kind of gutsy, and I can't believe that they were willing to go that far and how well they stick the landing.
Oh shit!
Yes? It seems that kicking the device triggers combustion. But not to worry. I will fix this. Somehow.
And I think that Infinite Wealth really just rules because it's able to adjust to the temperature of any given scene organically. Sometimes the game is totally extremely goofy or campy, but sometimes it's dead serious, and yet nothing ever feels out of place, and that is good writing. So my only real story complaint so far is sometimes I feel like the pacing of scenes gets a little wonky for me. I remember one distinct moment that the game literally like stops a cutscene and you're just in this room, you have nowhere to go, and the game said that I just needed to talk to my party if I wanted the expository scene to continue. Like the game knew that I just sat through a really long cutscene and was like, okay, let's just give him a little break. And then, okay, go to the bathroom, get a little snack. Okay, now start the cutscene back up, start it back up. And these scenes are rarely bad. They're just a lot. So sometimes there's just a lot of talking sometimes, and you gotta be ready for it. Now, next up here, I wanna focus on the combat. You're looking at a turn-based battle system in which your party has access to different weapons, type advantages. If you time a button press to an enemy attack, you can block and take less damage, which is a nice reminder to stay focused on the battle rather than just like having a system that would end up with you mashing through commands every single time. And something new to this game is that you actually have a small range of movement that your characters can traverse during battle. This lets you position attacks so that you can bump enemies into each other, into allies, or achieve other special like contextual bonuses based on what's around you. And I like this battle system a lot because it's fun and the animations are cool, but I do find it to be maybe a little broken as far as JRPG combat goes, because it kind of always feels like, and it's really your mileage may vary on how much this bothers you, but it always kind of feels like fights are predetermined. Like my party either is or is not strong enough to beat my enemies, and my in-battle decisions maybe don't really matter as much as I would like them to. And it kind of bugs me when I accidentally come across a group of enemies that just has better stats than I do, and no amount of strategy can make a difference. So for my taste, the game is a little too focused on your level and leveling up to achieve success. But I gotta say, there's so much flavor and variety here that I almost don't mind. A big part of that flavor is that there's a whole job system attached to the combat too, awarding your characters with new and unique classes. Now, job systems on the whole, I think they just make any RPG better for me and my tastes. But again, I did find it all to be a little inutile. Like, I never felt like a job change made my character any more or less useful. They're just different, which again is fine because it's so jolly. But I do wish that I felt like my decisions were having a bigger impact in the combat.
Hey, those moves weren't half bad. Almost like, yeah, a Hong Kong action movie. What the? What the? What
Now, as we wrap things up here, let me hit you with some stray thoughts. First, I gotta mention Kiryu's English voice. Now, I feel like, I don't know, this might be controversial. I'm not like a longtime Yakuza fan, and I know that people love this character, but he's gotta be the one that sticks out to me. The performance is like not quite fitting with the rest of the cast. I feel like maybe he just doesn't match with this new Yakuza era that Ichiban is ushering in, but his voice to me, it sounds like somebody is stuck doing kind of like a Batman thing, and because they are doing this Batman thing, they are hamstringing their vocal variation, the degree to which that they can alter their voice. So no matter what's going on, I got this weirdo in my party being like, yeah, okay, I'll take a burger, and I just don't like it. It really only works when the scene is like at its most like highest life or death stakes. Then it fits. But everywhere else where you got these I don't know, it didn't work for me. Next, the side stories. Pretty much every one of these is a banger. This studio is obviously so good at introducing a character, context, stakes, and a goal really quickly and meaningfully. Special shout out to the Crazy Delivery side story. It's like a food delivery service minigame. I got addicted to it, went through all of the different like challenge levels in one go. I was like, no, I'm just gonna get the highest score in all of these, had the best time. Next, Dondoku Island is like the big side mode in this game, and it's supposed to resemble Animal Crossing. So you're like managing an island, you're crafting stuff, you're like making a house, all that good stuff. Now, I didn't get access to this mode until like 18 hours into the game. I was waiting for it the whole time. It was a big part of the marketing, and then I got there, and when I got there, I could not wait to leave. It is so boring. It abandons the game's combat systems for like this mindless swinging around of a bat. It doesn't feel good. Nothing in it like all of a sudden the game on the sticks feels bad when you are on Dondoku Island. And I found it to be so repetitive in a way that I don't like. And I cannot see myself for real, like ever volunteering to return to the island. There just wasn't any charm. It's like if you took Animal Crossing, but took out all the sweetness, all the sweet little guys. And I cannot be destroying rocks all day just to craft like a dank looking couch for my house. I will not be doing that. And finally, one thing I really loved was Sujimon, the Pokemon-esque kind of like side mode that you can participate in which you take 3 human freaks that you catch out in the world and you use them in battle against other Sujimon trainers. Now, this was in the first game, but this game, it goes a little further than the last, and it introduces like these crazy gym battles. There's a discrete 4, discrete elite 4, pretty good. There are raids, like some of this more modern Pokemon stuff, and it's really fun. It's fun to have like such a direct piece of, not quite commentary, but like parody, I would say, of Pokemon stuff, and I think that they do it well and in like a humorous way that is genuinely funny, and I think it's presented really well, and the way that Sujimon kind of infiltrates the open world, it's present alongside all of the main game's content, but it's never forced on you. So you really get to engage with it whenever and however you want. You could sit down one day and say, I'm just focusing on Sujimon. You could just do it while you're, running around the world, whatever. It's up to you, and I think that's really well designed. But hey, you've done it. You've reached the end of this video. Infinite Wealth, a great game, definitely set to impress in 2024. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about it, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.